Eldridge Hollow, a village nestled amongst the hills, draped in perpetual mist. The forest pressed close, a wall of dark green and silent shadows. The villagers spoke in hushed tones, their eyes darting towards the woods. They knew the stories, the whispers of things unseen, unheard, but always present. Eldridge Hollow held its breath, forever in the shadow of the woods. The air was always heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. Sunlight struggled to penetrate the canopy, casting the forest floor in an eternal twilight. The silence was unsettling, broken only by the rustle of unseen creatures and the occasional snap of a twig. The woods watched. The woods waited. Emma, a young woman with eyes as bright as the midday sun, felt the pull of the woods. Curiosity bloomed within her, an insatiable thirst for the unknown. She listened intently to the whispered tales, her heart quickening with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. While others shied away, Emma felt an undeniable allure. She was drawn to the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the surface of things, to the secrets whispered on the wind. The villagers' warnings only fueled her desire to uncover the truth. Emma yearned to touch the darkness, to see what lay beyond the veil of fear. One crisp autumn afternoon, Emma stepped across the threshold, leaving the familiar comfort of the village behind. The air grew colder, the silence deeper as she ventured into the heart of the woods. Each step was a rebellion against the unspoken rules, a defiance of the fear that clung to the air like cobwebs. The trees pressed in closer, their branches intertwining overhead, forming a natural archway. Sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense foliage, casting the path in an eerie greenish glow. A sense of foreboding settled over Emma, yet she pressed on, her curiosity a beacon in the growing darkness. Deeper into the woods she ventured until the path opened into a small clearing. In the center stood an ancient stone altar, worn smooth by time and the elements. A weathered, leather-bound book lay open upon it, its pages filled with strange symbols and markings. The air hung heavy, thick with an unseen energy. Emma cautiously approached the altar, her heart pounding in her chest. The symbols seemed to writhe and shift before her eyes, whispering promises of forbidden knowledge. As she reached out to touch the book, a cold wind swept through the clearing, extinguishing the sunlight and plunging the woods into darkness. From the darkness, a presence emerged. It did not move, yet it seemed to occupy the space around her, a suffocating, unseen entity. A wave of raw terror washed over Emma, stealing her breath and paralyzing her with fear. She could feel its gaze upon her, cold and ancient, stripping her bare. The air crackled with unseen energy, the forest holding its breath. Emma wanted to scream, to run, but her body refused to obey. She was trapped, caught in the gaze of something ancient and evil, something that had been waiting for her. She fled, scrambling back through the darkness, the image of the Watcher seared into her mind. The woods seemed to close in around her, the trees reaching out with gnarled fingers. Every rustle of leaves, every snapping twig sent shivers down her spine. Even as she stumbled back into the familiar safety of the village, she could not shake the feeling of being watched. The unseen gaze followed her, a constant presence lurking just beyond the periphery of her vision. The darkness had followed her home. Days turned into weeks, but the fear remained. Emma tried to forget the horrors she had witnessed in the woods, to bury the memory of the Watcher deep within her mind. Yet the more she tried to resist, the stronger the pull became. The woods called to her, whispering her name on the wind. Sleep offered no escape, her dreams haunted by the image of the altar and the book. The strange symbols continued to dance before her closed eyes, their meanings slowly unraveling in her subconscious. Emma knew with a growing sense of dread that she would return to the woods. Driven by a force she could not comprehend, Emma found herself drawn back to the clearing. The altar stood bathed in moonlight, the book open, as if awaiting her return. This time there was no fear, only a sense of inevitability. The Watcher had chosen her, and there was no escape. As she placed her hand upon the ancient book, a surge of power coursed through her. The symbols came alive, their meanings flooding her mind. She was no longer an outsider looking in, but a part of something vast and ancient. The darkness welcomed her embrace. The village of Eldridge Hollow continued to huddle in the shadow of the woods, oblivious to Emma's fate. The stories continued, passed down through generations, a warning whispered on the wind, but the whispers had changed. They were no longer tales of warning, but of longing, of a darkness that promised power. Emma was gone, her humanity consumed by the shadows. In her place stood something ancient and powerful, a guardian of the woods and its secrets. She was the Watcher now, forever bound to the darkness that had claimed her. Life in Eldridge Hollow went on, yet a palpable unease lingered. The villagers spoke of strange occurrences, of whispers carried on the wind, and fleeting glimpses of a figure standing at the edge of the woods. The forest held its secrets close, but its presence was undeniable. The legend of the Watcher lived on, a cautionary tale whispered around hearths and in hushed tones. Eldridge Hollow remained forever bound to the darkness that dwelled within its woods, a testament to the enduring power of fear and the seductive allure of the unknown. The tale of Eldridge Hollow and the Watcher serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks at the edges of our world. It speaks to our primal fears of the unknown, of the forces that lie beyond our understanding. Yet it also hints at the allure of such power, the seductive whisper of forbidden knowledge. Fear can be a powerful motivator, driving us to seek safety and security in the familiar. But it can also be a prison, trapping us in cycles of fear and ignorance. Sometimes the greatest act of courage is not to shy away from the darkness, but to confront it, to seek understanding in the face of fear. The Watcher in the Woods may be a tale, but the questions it raises about the nature of fear, curiosity, and the allure of the unknown are timeless and universal. It is a reminder that the darkness can be both terrifying and seductive, and that the choices we make in the face of fear can have profound and lasting consequences.